Now You See Me, Now You Don't is now out. Let's talk about it. The Four Horsemen and a new generation of illusionists try to bring down a worldwide criminal network. Alright, so it's been 9 whole years since the second Now You See Me movie was released, and to be honest, I was losing hope that we'd never see a third entry into this franchise because usually after 5 years of waiting and nothing comes, that means it's over. But to my surprise, they actually did it and made a new one, and guess what? It's another one that I'll probably like more than others because I'm very, very partial to these movies because even though they're unrealistic and stupid at times, I have so much fun with them, and I found this new one to be an absolute blast. Magic has always been something that I've loved watching in movies and in talent shows in real life, and the Now You See Me movies give me a nice kick of energy because of how interesting they can make each trick play out, and they even show you how they do them in a kind of believable fashion. So even though you might find these movies stupid, I enjoy them and I'm glad we got a third entry. Ruben Fleischer is the director this time around, and he's known for making the Venom movie, Uncharted, and the Zombieland movies, so he's really good at making some fun blockbuster popcorn films, and I overall think he did a good job here. He kept some of the magic of the previous ones that we've enjoyed, and he also introduced some new elements that made it feel more modern than the others. I want to start off and say that the opening to this movie was really sick with how it introduced our new trio of magicians, and it's literally just them impersonating the Four Horsemen. Our new cast members include Ariana Greenblatt, Justice Smith, and Dominic Sessa. These are 3 actors that I really love a lot. Part of our new generation of up-and-coming stars. Ariana Greenblatt, I think that she's proven herself pretty well, but I think that she needs to step out of her comfort zone a little bit. She is usually just playing the same character over and over, like a kind of a spoiled brat. She's good here, but she just feels like the same character that we saw her play in previous films. Justice Smith, though, I really enjoyed him here. I enjoy him in everything that he's in. Dominic Sessa, though, I'm so happy to see him in a big movie like this, especially after The Holdovers. That was his debut role. He was terrific in that movie, so I'm hopefully we'll be seeing him in more movies after this one. I gotta say, once Atlas came back on screen, I literally felt like magic was restored to cinema again because without Jesse Eisenberg, you can't have Now You See Me. And then the rest of the Horsemen show up, and that's when the real fun begins. This turns from just an okay movie to me to a really good popcorn film in my eyes. There's some really great sequences here at a specific magic house that all the horsemen in the new squad go to, and then we get to have kind of like magic battles between the new people and the old cast members, and I thought that was just so much fun. Probably the biggest flaw I had with this movie is that it just has a boring villain, just like the second movie in my eyes. I thought the first movie had a pretty good villain, second movie, pretty bad villain. This one, it's kind of the same. I love Rosamund Pike as an actress, but I thought that she was very messy in this, and the script didn't help at all because it just was all so sloppy. The writing in her character was just a bore fest. Something that impressed me here was that there are some great surprises to be had in this movie, some really interesting cameos that were nicely hidden in the trailers. I will say most of the third act you haven't seen yet, which is very, very exciting. Something else that let me down was that there's a sloppy twist in the third act. And the third act overall, I didn't find to be that amazing. I really enjoyed the first act. The second half, the middle part of the movie was really amazing in my eyes. Probably the best part about this film, with kind of a jail breakout scene and then like the magic house part that I was talking about. And then the third act is usually where it all happens, so it becomes just kind of like a sloppy mess. Everything was just thrown outside into the movie, and some reveals happen, and I just thought that was too much at once. I felt like they should have went for one idea instead of throwing the second idea in as a huge twist, because that overall didn't really work for me as much as the rest of the movie did. And if you're wondering, there is no post-credit scene for this movie, but Lionsgate already announced that they're working on a 4th movie, and there is a nice tease for that at the end of this one. So overall, Now You See Me, Now You Don't is another very fun film in this franchise, but I still would say that the first entry is the best, while this sits nicely above the second. The new cast additions were nicely handled without them overshadowing the original Horsemen who haven't lost a beat. The magic and heist sequences are all really entertaining, but the script still falters with its twist and villain. I'm going to give the third Now You See Me movie a 7 out of 10. If you also saw this film, leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to discuss it with you. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel as it is free to do so, and it does help me out a lot. But I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.